Hello, everyone. When you hop on, say hi. And give it another minute or so for everybody to catch up. Hi, Carol. Welcome. I'm going to give it about another 30 seconds to a minute. We're going to get started. Hi, Deb. Welcome. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain, but not until later on the evening and rain all night. All right, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to get started. I'm going to flip the camera down. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Oh, yeah, I'm excited to show you too, Carol. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down. Okay, I am using the Extraordinary Floral stamp set and washi tape, and it has a die. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways to what you can use to mount this on and use, okay? So I'm going to get the die out because we're going to do that first. Oh, I'll need the stamp set. What's nice about this stamp set is one big stamp, okay? And the dies will cut all the images out. Well, the washi tape, you will see one section will be cut out with the dies, okay? First off, I'm going to just use plain old white cardstock, basic white. And I find when I peel this, there's actually, I was told, 66 sections, which is from here to here. And it's a pink and a purple. So I'm just going to cut this off. I find it very, it's easy to do it this way and then put it on your paper because of the wrinkle, the air pockets in that. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. I am going to lay it down on one end. And I am just going to rub this like this. This is, and if you get a wrinkle, you can pick it up. Just be careful. But I find it's easier to lay it on any surface by cutting off the section, okay? And then what I like to do is just take the bone folder. That will rub out any of the bubbles that might be in it. And then you would lay it on your washi tape and it'll cut that out, okay, just like that. And I did a card doing the exact thing. Okay, this is all done just like I just did. I did not cut it out. I just used it as is. I just cut the basic white down and mounted it on Petunia Pop. Okay, so if you want to cut this out, you would lay this down. Let me move us out of the way. And then I put some washi tape or post-it note tape. And I'm going to put some there and some here. I'm bringing my cut and emboss machine. Plate 1, plate 2, and plate 3. We're going to lay this on here. And that moved a little. Down there. Okay. Oh, that's going to keep popping up. So we're going to fix that. There we go. And then we're going to put on another plate 3. My post-it paper, post-it note tape has been used a couple of times. It doesn't want to stick. And then, when you take this off, they usually all pop out. And it gives it a more brighter image than on the next two I'm going to show you. Now, if you didn't want to use the washi tape, you can stamp that image and color it the way you want with your markers or your blends or our watercolor crayons. Okay, let me set this out of the way a minute. For parchment paper, I just tore a piece off. You want to make sure it's wide enough. Same thing. Now pull this to the next section. Oh, as I was telling you, there's 66 sections on this washi tape. And it's 16 images on each section. That comes to 1,056 images that you get off of the washi tape. And you know, if you would have the stamp set and the die. Hi, Carol. I'm only working on my first roll. But anyway, that's the parchment paper. I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss. And I'm going to put my die on top. And slide it through. But you know what? I'm going to tear this off. I didn't need that long of a piece. And I'm going to get new posted. Yes, you're right, Rosie. Okay, let me get fresh washi tape or post-it note. So we'll line it up. Guess it doesn't want to stick on parchment paper. There we go. And take my next one, put it on top, run it through. And parchment paper, you are able to peel it off. Your wax paper, you won't be able to, but the parchment paper, you will be able to peel off. I just had it. Would help if I wouldn't break my little tiny fingernail I had there. There we go. You can peel off the parchment paper. You can peel off, and then you can just use the washi tape as is. Okay, it's sticky, but that is your parchment paper. Okay, throw this away. Punch these out. Okay. And then the next one is wax paper. Now, wax paper, you can't peel off. It won't let you peel that backing off. But you want the piece that's not waxy. They feel the same to me, but. And then I'm going to do another one. So if you didn't want a stamp set, you could just buy the die and the washi tape, and you would have all you would need to make beautiful cards. There you go. That was easy. I'm going to just cut this down a little. The parchment paper and the wax paper almost makes like it has vellum behind it. I don't know what, oh, there it is. And then once I cut, oh, I moved it. Once I cut these out, we'll get busy on making our projects. I just wanted to show you that the different types of paper that you can use to cut these out. You don't have to use Oh, that's a good idea, Rose. Yeah, I didn't think of that. But your wax paper, look, with wax paper behind it and the parchment paper, looks like you have vellum behind it. So let me take these off. Take that off. Lay that there. Put the stamp set. Now you can stamp this and then color any color you want and then cut it out. Okay. So, and I think I used it on one of my cards that I am doing tonight. I'm going to show you this one, and then I will show you the holder that I did for you. So you might want to grab, hi Shirley, might want to grab a paper and pencil. I will give you directions. In fact, it's this right here, the file folder, a holder, and that will hold up more than 10 cards and envelopes, as long as they're not too embellished too much in the front. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to make this next. Okay, this is the card I did, and this is using Petunia Pop. I don't have anything in the middle. I might put a flower there, but I am using Peach Pie. Okay, I have them here, 3 of the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder, and I went ahead and did that. And these are from Frame Scenes. Okay, the 2 here. And I used there's only 2 in there in the dies, so I used 1 of each. And then this is the one I colored with my markers. Now you did not miss it. Okay, so this is using Petunia Pop and Lemon Lime Twist. So let's get started. 8.5 by 5.5. And you're going to fold it in half, and that would be 4.25. This piece, Peach Pie, is 3 3/4 by 5.5. That will go here. And then this piece would be 2.5 by 5.5, or 5.25. Okay, and then that's just going to get laid right on top of that. So let's put this on. Okay, we could put this on your front. And it really doesn't matter how much you leave over here. Okay, and then before I put these on, I need to stamp thanks. And I use thanks from Spotlight on Nature. Get that out. And let me get my piece of scratch paper here to make sure it's straight. And I'm using Memento Black. I'll it down a little. There you go. And then we're going to put that in the middle, up towards the bottom, because I'm going to put the flowers at the top. So we can put that down. Okay. And then the flower, we're just going to lay that on top. Like so. Then we're going to get some dimensionals, and I think I have to open a new pack. And we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And then, like I said, you can put this anywhere you want. You just want to make sure it's even. Now, something I didn't do before, I want to get some, oh, I don't know if I have any left. That's the new ones. That's the new ones. I'm looking. That's this one. There we go. Let's put some of these on it. Take the pecan pie. Let's do a big one up there. And that would be the first card. Oh, thanks, Carol. Let's close this up before I get it all over the place. Okay, the next one. I'm going to bring my big shot in on my cut and emboss machine again, because I'm going to show you how I did the background there. This was using Gorgeous Grape, but now I'm using Pretty in Pink. And this is the card. So, and this is using the biggest circle in the stylish shapes. Okay. So let me put these aside here. And these are done on basic white cardstock. Okay. This one was stamped. All right, so before on, I'm using Pretty in Pink. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it in half, which is 5 1/2. And then this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to get the exposed brick. Going to open it up. I don't want to lose these flowers. I have them picked out. I'm going to get my Pretty in Pink ink pad. And the one that has the logo on is the one I am going to stamp or ink. So you're just going to take your ink pad right onto the folder. Okay? Close this up. I'm going to lay my cardstock on there. I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. You're going to use plate number 1. And with the hinge side going in first. Put that up so you can see that's the ink side. And then you're going to use plate number 4. You're going to lay that on top and you're going to run it through. And then you open it up and you get that. Now this you can run right under your spigot to rinse it off, or you can use your silicone, the mat that you make wet. I can't think of the name. Or baby wipes or whatever. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside, and this is going to go on front like so. And then this needs folded again. I don't like the way that looks. Better. And then we're going to lay that on there. I should have brought my fan out. It's warm out here. And you want to put, since it's embossed, you want to make sure you put enough glue on or whatever that you use to make sure it stays sticky. Okay. Next, I'm going to take Thank You, and that is from With You in Mind. And I'm going to do that in Pretty in Pink. And we're going to stamp that towards the bottom, like so. Put that up there a while. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in the flowers. And I'm going to lay them down on. If you didn't want to use all these flowers, you don't have to. You could just do it at the top. Whatever you would like to do. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is start at the top. And I am only going to do the bottom half. I'm not gluing it all. I'm just doing like the bottom half of the flower. I'm not doing the whole thing. I want to be able to stick things underneath it. Okay, let's do the big one. All these lights, it's warm in here. And this one. And the last one. Okay. Then we're going to bring in our dimensionals. Oh, did I lose a flower? Yep. Okay. Let's put a dot here so we don't lose this little one. And that's going to go in the middle of the card. And then we're just going to, I don't have, let me see. No, I must have used all mine. I'll have to put a middle in with some flowers. I didn't cut enough for that. But that is card number 2. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the folder. So if you have your pencil and paper, and then that way you can take down the directions. The paper I'm using, this was the Oh, the beautiful bouquet. Bokeh. I'm sorry. The beautiful bokeh paper on this one. This one is simply plaid that I'm using on this one. You will need let me get my paper here. I have it here. 9.5 by 8.5. Okay. Get this out of the way. I want to bring in my scoring board. And you'll need 2 sheets, okay? 8.5 by 9.5. On the 9.5-inch side, you're going to score it at 2.5 and 7. Okay? On the 9.5-inch side, you're going to score at 2.5 and 7. Thank you, Shirley. I have one more. Then you're going to turn it to the 8.5-inch side, and you're going to score it at 2.5. 8-inch side, 2.5. And you're going to do the same thing on your other sheet. So they're both going to be the same. 2.5, 7 on the 9.5-inch side. Then turn it to the 8.5 and score it at 2.5. Now we're going to fold our score lines. Now I'm just using basic white. You may want to use the thick basic white. It's just that I had this out, and that's why I chose to use this. Okay. Next, we want to make our diagonal cut, okay? So on the left or the right side, take a roller, and you want to go down to 3.5. Okay? And you're going to make a tick mark. I don't know what happened. My granddaughter must have taken my pencil. 3.5, just make a tick mark. Okay? And you can do the same thing on this one at 3.5, tick mark. Okay. Get your trimmer. You're going to line your first score line in the track. And you're going to cut down to your tick mark. But don't cut the whole way down. Just cut to that tick mark. That's, you know what? Wait a minute. Let me see something here. Changed it. Take your cardstock. Your tick marks here. Take it to 3.5. You're going to cut to that tick mark. I did this the hard way when I did it. Okay? Then you can see where your tick mark is. And you want to line them both up in that track. But you know what? We don't need this. You can cut this off if you want. I make things difficult. I didn't cut it off. Now, You can see it better. Tick mark in the track, fold in the track, bring your cutter down and cut. And you have that. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. And you're going to do the same thing. Line this up at 3 1/2. And cut your tick mark, or to your tick mark. Okay? Then you can cut that off if you want. I must have did it right because I'm below my 3 1/2. Okay? Then line that particular 2 1/2 score and where you cut, which would be your tick mark, and cut. And you have that. Hope I didn't confuse you guys too much. Next, you're going to take and cut up your 4 corners at the bottom. Okay? I'm going to fold this one back the other way because it's going to be opposite of this one. This is what this one's going to look like. When you put it together, you'll get that when it's all together. Now, I find that these need to be trimmed just a little. For it so it doesn't, you don't have overhang. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take and glue this together, okay, lining up the sides. So I'm going to put glue over on these flaps. Bring it in, bring it up. Just make sure your sides are even. And that's the 1/2. Am I going too fast? Am I making you confused? And see, when you put this one together, okay, you're going to slide this one in here, and you have your, that'll be covered, okay. So next we're going to put these two together, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to trim just a little. Okay. Put glue on the ends. Fold it in. Before you do that, I should have told you, this could slide in like this. Don't put glue like I did. I'm sorry. I should have. You want to put glue on everything, and I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue where it's necessary to hold it together. And the back panel. I'm putting it at the top and down the side. I guess it would have been easier just to, okay, thank you, Shirley. I guess it would have been easier just to put them all together and then fit it together. But if you do that, then the back part won't go in, if that makes sense. Okay, so then you have your file folder. Then you need DSP if you want to decorate it. These are 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. I'm going to show you how I cut them. I laid them here and I moved it up a little and made sure, made sure it was even around, flipped it over, and then I just made tick marks again where I want to cut. So you're going to take this, now you can only do one at a time because you're going to be cutting different way. Thanks, Shirley. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer, my tick marks. I'm going to line up in the groove. And we're going to cut. I need to trim it just a hair yet. There we go. And see, that'll go here. Just like that. So I'm going to put that on a while. You can use the other side. I think I like that one better. But I need to cut a little more off. So I'm just going to do that. About an 1/8 or 1/16. Yeah, that looks better. I like this side better. So we're going to just put glue down. We're just going to put it on. Like so. Okay. So then we're going to flip this one over. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make tick marks. And then we're going to cut. And that'll go on like so. Put that on. This would be good for a masculine card collection. And then you need a piece for the front, 2 1/4 inch square. Okay, because this is a, I'm sorry, 2 1/4 by, yeah, 2 1/4 inch square, I'm sorry. So, don't have enough on here. Let me see if I have enough in my plaid here. that I can, oh, yep, there we go. Okay, so then I need a 2 1/4 inch square. Whoops. So let me cut that. And don't forget, if you use paper that's directional, you want to make sure you cut it so that it works for you. Okay. And this will go on the front. Okay. And then I took my 2 3/8 inch circle, and I cut out a circle. Now on this one I said thank you, but I'm not going to put anything on it yet because I already have 2 that says thank you. But then you would stamp whatever you want on here. And what I did here, I took thank you, and I took the flower from with you in mind, and I just stamped it 3 times there. Okay. So you make it for whatever you want, but I used a 2 3/8 inch circle. You don't have to use that big. You can use any label, any punch, die, or whatever you want to put on the front. Okay. So that is my file folder, card holder. Okay, let's get on to the last card. Bring these back out so you can see them. This is I'm going to show you how I did this card. It's using the exposed brick again. Nothing inside. I forgot to give you white, so I will put that in. But anyway, this is what it is, and I'm using the small oval again from the, which one did I tell you? The Scenic stamp set. Framed scenes. Okay. Oh, and this is what I wanted to show you, that I put this on, although I stamped this. Okay. And I'm going to cut it out because I want to get the purple, and I used the gorgeous, the Highland Heather. And these are done with my blends. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rosie. So I'm going to cut this out when I'm ready to put my purple flowers on. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, gotta score it right then. Okay, then I already went ahead and I ran this through the exposed brick 3D. You're welcome, Shirley. 3D embossing folder, and I'm gonna add color to that. My frame is from, oh, where's my frame from? I thought I left it out. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's from the framed scenes. I use this one. Okay. And keep the piece that when you cut it out through the big the cut and emboss machine, you will get the frame, and you get that extra piece. I use that extra piece in the middle, so hold on to that. All right, we're going to do this first, and I'm going to get my, oh, that's brown, and gorgeous grape. And what I did was, let's get this right. I started up here and I'm going down and over. And I have enough on there. I'm just going to do the top here. Okay? That's all you do with that. That will go on your front of your card. So I'm going to put that on a while. And bring in a Memento Black and the word thanks. And I'm going to stamp it at the top. Like so. Well, that didn't look straight when I was looking at it. Alright. So, I am going to put dimensionals on here. So I'm going to get my mini ones out. The big ones fit on here, but you have to be careful how you lay them down. You could also trim the sides of the dimensionals and make a long strip. I just want it to stand up a little so it looks like you're looking through a window because it's raised. Okay, now where's my take my pick tool? I have trouble getting these off of the little ones. I don't have too much of a problem with the big ones. But they seem to be working tonight. Okay, that worked. Okay, then this is going to get laid in the middle. Like so. And then this will go inside there, okay, when I get this one done. But I got to cut the flowers out. Now they have purple flowers here. I could have used them. But I think these show up better. They're more, I think, vibrant when you use your blends or markers compared to the washi tape. And I'm going to put one on the other side. Okay. I think I need a bigger space. Okay. I'm going to run that through. It must be on something. Okay. That's all we need that for. Wow. I've been on almost an hour. I can't believe that. I'm usually done by now and I'm watching TV. But then again, time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so let me get my purple flowers. This one. And this one. There we go. So I'm going to put this over here. I'll add that to my collection here. Bring this in. I'm going to glue this down. In the middle. Like so. Then we're going to put these on. Like so. Bring them in. Slide this in. And there you have card number 3. And like I said, these will at least, well, I have one that has 10. Oh, what, that I was on for an hour? Oh, thanks, Carol. Oh, that, the framed scenes. It comes with the frame here and the ovals that I used tonight. Rosie. The framed scenes. Okay? Alrighty. But like I was saying, I have 2 of them back here on my shelf, and it has 10 cards in, but they will hold a lot more than 10. Like I said, it depends on how much embellishments you put on the front. Okay, how much you dress them up. But these will go in. Envelopes will go in. There's 6 here. Envelopes will go in, and envelopes don't take up much space. So you see how much is left. So you can get, I would say, maybe 15, 20, if not more. It depends. Like I said, it depends. But there you go for tonight. So, all right, guys. I just want to say thanks for hanging with me. And if I confused you on this thing, I am so sorry. Like I said, I made my other ones like a year or so ago. So I sat down, I found a pattern, and my age, I forget things. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will be back Wednesday for Scrapbooking Wednesday, 8 o'clock. And Friday, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet Friday, as usual. So, thanks, Rosie. I just want to say thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of the week. And like I said, I will be back here Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And just a reminder, I will not be on Facebook live after June 20th. Okay, thanks, Carol. June 20th. I am canceling the subscription I'm using. I'm having too much trouble with it, and I'm just tired of paying for it and having to restart, and everything. So I'm going to try a test run. I'm just going to do it on YouTube and see how it is, okay, and then put it on Facebook. So I will let you know, but that's after June 20th, okay.